Hello, Aries, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 9th through the 15th. And during that time, we'll have a waning gibbous moon. We'll be coming off that, coming off that full moon energy. Waning gibbous is a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth. We're kind of coming off of that high energy time, and it's a good time to get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, and definitely just work towards achieving your goals and accomplishments in the cycle that we're working in. We then move into the last quarter energy, of course, on the 13th, 14th, also a time of reflection, releasing what no longer serves us, and just getting ready for new beginnings, starting to let go, taking responsibility for things that we've just done in the past cycle, because we're going to, of course, be getting ready for that new beginning at the new moon coming up. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Aries. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: surrender to the divine. All right, let's see what the Aries Collective has going on for this week. As I'm shuffling, my fun, friendly reminder this week is that you keep a spiritual journal. Sometimes we don't recognize the patterns evolving in our life when it comes to, the spiritual things that we're learning, different things that you might be encountering. This could be synchronicities that you're having, or maybe dreams. Maybe a book that you read, maybe a tarot reading that you watched. It just could be a lot of things. As we're learning from the universe, just good time to take a little time every week to just jot those things down. It'll help you later when you can kind of look back and see emerging patterns and think, oh, that's when I learned that thing and started to apply it. Or I learned that thing and I forgot to begin applying it. Or I started and kind of fell off. So it's just a good thing to keep a journal to kind of keep us up on our spiritual toes, and trying to, make good on those things that we're learning. So that's my fun weekly reminder for you this week. All right, Aries, let's get into this reading. Cards are starting to fly out for you. We've got Aries for November 9th through the 15th. And moving into that last quarter moon. All right, so your overall present situation right now would be the Eight of Wands. So a lot of things coming in at you this week, things happening quickly. This could be things changing, things evolving, things moving very quickly. This could be information coming at you. This could just be just things coming at you. And then there's a bit of it this week. It seems to be a little bit energetic. When it comes to that, you might just be managing things well. Let's see how your cards. Hopefully, you're just taking things as they come, managing them quickly, and moving right along. Your current situation is the Nine of Wands here. So you've got things coming in, and you're kind of looking back on where you've just been recently. So, this is probably you looking back over the past, maybe just a few weeks. Again, we're in that time of reflection right now. So that really, kind of coincides with that we're looking back over our past few weeks and thinking, here's what I did in life that worked for me. Here's what didn't work. And let me start to make those adjustments. But it looks like, we've got a lot of wands going on here. Let's see what else happens. At the root of your situation this week is the Star card. So you're definitely on course. It seems that you are being guided. You're trusting the universe that's, showing you signs. You're really paying attention to those things. You're being very optimistic right now. There's things that have been revealed to you that, that the Star card is about direction, and it's about really following those signs and just having a clarity, and following those insights that might be coming to you from the universe. So it seems like that's really the root of where you are this week. So these things coming in quickly could be things like synchronicities, things like just little signs that you should be paying attention to, which is awesome. I love weeks like that. In your recent past, Ace of Wands. So the wands are really, really coming out for you. So whatever, it seems like your life right now is really full of passion for something, someone, some situation. This could be something that you're involved with. If it's not a relationship thing, of course, passion can stand for lots of things. This could be passion for your work, passion for side projects, for hobbies, things that you're involved with. So it seems like you've had some sort of new passion come into your life, and things are moving along quickly with it, and you're kind of also in that evaluation mode. Like, am I moving in the right direction when it comes to this? Looks like you are guided, and you're trusting in that. So, you're kind of you're watching signs and signals, but you're also questioning things too. And I almost get this, like, slight trepidation to think, you know, you like the direction it's going, but you're also being very, very cautious, right? You're kind of checking yourself. What is on your mind this week is the Temperance card, one of my favorite cards. Let me move this camera down so you can see all the cards here. The Temperance card, which is definitely, you know, I like to say, if the devil's on one shoulder, this is the angel on the other shoulder. This is the voice of reason. This the person who can manage the emotional. If she's got her foot in these emotional waters here, but also on dry land, on terra firma, able to do that. You know, understand emotions, but also balance them with the realities of life. So this is on your mind this week, is just to kind of have that nice, calm, centered, balanced way of being, which is, I love this reading so far. I love how all these cards are coming out for you, Aries. What is just ahead of you this week is the King of Wands. So you're definitely gaining knowledge, and you're gaining a lot of knowledge in whatever it is that this Ace of Wands has brought for you. And again, I wouldn't be surprised, because you've got things coming in. Again, this could be signs from the universe or information about this passion, but you're also, like I said, cautiously optimistic. You're trusting the direction, but you're also, really questioning things. But in doing that, you're just gaining so much knowledge, again, about this person or this situation or whatever it is that you're involved with, that's really causing you to have this kind of passion for something. So that's awesome. Being in that, the king energy is that, when it comes to passion and whatever it is, you're really learning everything you can, but you're also have the ability to kind of look around and see the people around you as well, and understand kind of where they're coming from when it comes to their passions, and also, and how, kind of how it relates to you. So, and how it supports you. So that's pretty awesome. In your advice position here, we've got the Five of Swords. So, here, you know, this is in your advice position. So, a lot of times this card is about winning, but like, how do you feel after? Because this could be kind of winning through underhanded tactics. Are you doing something that is gaining for you, but you can see this person in the background here, that there's some hurt feelings. You've got someone with their back turned towards you. And I like to say with this one, are there words? Swords are about air energy, so that is about thoughts, but also can be about communication. So where there's some things said, where you kind of threw some swords at some other people and said some things that were maybe hurtful, and because it's in your advice position, it's almost like it's saying that you need to say those things. Feelings might get hurt in the process, but it's almost like you need to do it. So if there's something uncomfortable that comes up for you this week, where words need to be exchanged, and it's almost like, it's that thing where it's like things need to be said, nobody wants to be the one to say them, but apparently it might be you this week, and some feelings might get hurt, but we'll see where this reading goes. Usually people recover from that. Sometimes things just really do need to be said. So that's in your advice position, is almost, saying, don't hold back, go ahead and say the things. Of course, as always, try to be as kind as you can, but it's almost like sometimes the truth hurts. It is the truth. It needs to be said. What is beyond your control this week is the Empress. So it's beyond your control to definitely, this is our the Empress is so creative, and just so about bounty and harvest, and really, it's the card of fertility too. So it's beyond your control to maybe be a little extra fertile this week. Pay attention there if that's not something that you're trying to do right now. But the Empress is about making long-term commitments, almost like you would with a baby. But sometimes someone's creative project is their baby. Sometimes their house that they're remodeling is their baby. So while it can be beyond your control to be an actual child, it can also be a project that you're taking on that has kind of a long-term commitment that may go on for months or even years. So pay attention to that this week. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Three of Pentacles, which is, another card of creativity. This is coming together with others to you know, to be creative, to make decisions in the creative realm and work together, work in harmony. So that could be something too. And if this passion that you're involved with is something that's a work thing for you, it could be that you're going to come together with people in a creative way to kind of solve problems, or you're trying to avoid that. You know, when the card's in this position here, it's kind of your big question of the week is, are you avoiding being creative and coming together with others to fix problems, or is it really what you want? Is it your secret desire? In your outcome position this week is the Hermit card. So, you know, being that let's see, we had 4 major arcana cards. You know, anytime I have 3 or 4 cards, I think that these are kind of major revelations that you're having. You know, you're going to come through this week and you're going to kind of withdraw a little bit and go into hermit mode, which is just, you know, that's not a bad thing. Sometimes we just need that quiet time to do inner searching. You know, you're looking for the wisdom and answers, which are usually it's things you already know, but this is kind of, you know, taking on some solitude, being a little quiet, maybe not socializing as much, just so that you have that time to think about, you know, you're trying to think about what the next step is on your path. If you notice the hermit, you know, the hermit card, he doesn't have a big flashlight or a floodlight flooding his whole you know, his whole existence for the next month. It's just like, what is my next step? It's just enough to just shine enough light on maybe what the next step is. And you might just be in that area where you're thinking that, what is the next step? You know, when it comes to this, you're definitely in this pensive looking back mode. So you know, it could just be something that you're pondering, and you're at least going to go within by the end of the week and be patient with yourself and just go in and maybe try to look for those answers. You may not come up with those answers at the end of this week. Maybe this energy may go into next week, but it's something that you're definitely going to begin working on by the end of this week. So, all right, let's see what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck, Aries. Yeah, the 4 of Wands. Funny that we have even more wands. Look, I mean, almost every card that isn't a major arcana. Well, we've got these swords and pentacles here, but so many wands on the table. And, you know, of course, this is our card of like parties and celebrations. You know, this could be something, sometimes it's the card that denotes weddings, but this is hidden from you this week. So if you're going to not be social, it's a good time for, you know, maybe there's just nothing on the social agenda this week that's kind of hidden from you. And so you can afford to take that hermit time, go within and start to put together the things that you're looking back on, the things about this passion that you're involved with. You know, you're kind of checking yourself. You may also be pondering these words that were exchanged here, you know, in this advice position. You know, did I say the right thing? You know, are you thinking about maybe an apology if it wasn't the right thing, or are you going to hold your ground? You know, those are kind of things that you may be spending some time at the end of the week thinking about. So let's grab the Soul Oracle deck here and get a final message. So as I'm shuffling, yeah, I'm looking over for numerological things. We've got 2 3s here, so you may want to look up angel number 33, see if that has any bearing on your week. And again, because you have so many major arcana in your reading, it's kind of a big, you know, whatever the decisions and the things you're thinking about this week, um they're not minute things. I mean, they may not be the biggest thing in the world, but they're very important to you this week. It's not like these are small decisions that you're thinking about and making. So keep that in mind too this week, that whatever is on your mind and you're thinking about, they're pretty big things. It's not and what do I mean by that? You know, it's not that you're deciding what to have for dinner. You know, it's you know, you're deciding things that will affect other people. You know, kind of decisions in that realm where there is some effect on you, on your world and the people around you. So keep that in mind. All right, the Soul Oracle deck, Aries 9 through 15, November. All right. Admit your vulnerabilities. Okay, and is that something here? Perhaps. Is that something here in that creative realm? Perhaps. So, I mean, and you're definitely pondering things. You know, this is a week where that's like calm pondering, so that's okay. But if you have those vulnerabilities, definitely make sure that you are admitting those and at least taking a look at them, right? What does Aries need to do in the way of self-care for the week? self-care for Aries. And the card you get is the card that says mind. You are the master of your inner world, and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. Well, there's your Hermit card, too. So, yeah, I feel like by the end of the week, you're definitely kind of going within, being quiet, hermiting a little bit. Make sure you are journaling, like I said, keeping a spiritual journal, and either otherwise, sometimes writing just helps us, put those thoughts, things that you're going through into good form so that you can make sense of them. Just kind of free write. Write, type. I know I'm horrible at handwriting because my handwriting's awful. So, but I like to sit and type, and when things are on my mind, I will just go and just type. And sometimes it's just kind of free form and go wherever. And I might even let that sit for a few days before I revisit it to go back and just see kind of what I'm feeling and to be able to make sense of those things, while you're feeling them. So, Aries, I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use for your week. Of course, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what new, endeavors that you're involved with that you're feeling very passionate about. You're looking back over things and making sure that you're taking the right steps. I'd be real curious to know. And if you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Also, if you like my reading style, please click like and subscribe. It really helps my new channel, and I really would appreciate that as kind of a newer tarot reader here. I've been here for a while now, but still considered new, kind of slowly growing this channel, which is nice, perfect pace for me. But it does help my channel, and most importantly, Aries, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see where this story goes, or if there's a completely new energy here for you next week. So thanks so much once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.